I will talk with you about two scenarios and responses to those scenarios. In restorative practice, we want to be 80% proactive and 20% reactive. And so I'll talk about two scenarios and the responses. The first scenario is a proactive scenario. And this is where a teacher is, this is the first day of school, and she's meeting her students, and she wants to start to build community in her classroom. And the second scenario is a teacher attempting to she's teaching class, and she has a student that is being disruptive, actually clowning while she's trying to teach, and it's disturbing the class and her ability to teach. In the first scenario, first day of school, it's August, teacher wanting to start to build community. The simplest thing to do would be to introduce circles. And in introducing circles, one of the first things I would do is I'd talk about the talking piece and the significance of the talking piece, that it needs to be something that's important to us as a group, that's significant to us as a group, and we as a group would decide what that talking piece would be. We want to make sure that it's something that's safe. And I like those cushy balls, because when there's kind of stress relievers, and when people are talking, that's a good thing to have in their hand. It's a tactical way to kind of release some stress while you're talking. And so and then I talk to the students about how we initially start out. The person who starts out with the talking piece will determine in which direction we'll go, to the right or to the left. That way the students can start preparing their thoughts, getting their thoughts together, and they're not caught off guard. The biggest thing about the talking piece is the fact that it is the talking piece. So whoever has it is the person that has that is to be talking at the time, and everyone else is to be respectful and listening to them. And so to introduce the talking piece. And since it's the first day of class, we do our initial circle would be something like, tell us your name, something interesting about yourself, and maybe a goal you have for the year. Maybe not something that heavy, but something light. But and then the teacher would model by going first, and it would model how this looks. And so I would also introduce to the students how we're going to use circles for the year in order to build community and in our classroom, and that we would do check-in and check-out circles every day. I want to do them every day, because on Mondays I want to be able to see what happened over the weekend. As kids become more and more comfortable with the circle, you'll learn more and more. They'll be more and more comfortable in letting you into what's going on with their worlds. And then on Fridays at the end of the day, because I want to know maybe something that may be coming up for the weekend. But we do them every day, at the beginning of the class and the end of the class, because there may be something that happened during class, maybe some academic something, or you want to get some kind of feedback from the students about maybe an academic content that whatever the content was, and maybe it wasn't clear or something like that. So and you would be able to find that out kind of immediately. We'd also use the circles to create our classroom norms, and because the students participated in creating those norms, and we decided what was important, and together we're accountable to each other. And so circles would be what I would use to develop, create community as a teacher. The second scenario is a reactive scenario. This is where the student is interrupting, joking while the teacher is talking. And so you don't want to embarrass the student, but what I would do is I would use affective statements to address this particular. That would be the response to that. I would respond with affective statements. And so I maybe take the kid, young lady or young man, off to the side, or maybe, and I'd be very discreet. I don't want to embarrass the student. Be very discreet and say something like, when you're talking while I'm trying to teach and joking while I'm trying to teach, it really frustrates me. And you're a really smart and likable person. You really don't need to do that in order to get attention or to get people to like you. And that's how those are two examples of responses, proactive and reactive.